Hi, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the live Q&A webinar. My name is Danny. I'll be giving you the webinar today. Before we will begin, I would like us to go through some sound check to make sure that the webinar is, you can hear me properly. And another thing, if you can comment in the question section that you can see the chart here. For some reason, it doesn't seem that it's showing it. Just a second, I'll try and fix it. Okay. If somebody can see the screen, I'm just trying several things. For some reason, it doesn't seem to show the screen. Let's see if it's fixed. If it's fixed now. Perhaps now. All right. Can everybody see my screen? The chart over here. Excellent. Excellent. That's good. So we can begin. So like I said, my name is Danny. This is an live Q&A webinar. The purpose of this webinar is to let you guys ask any kind of questions that you want related to trading or the services that AvaTrade is giving. And of course, we're going to begin with a quick explanation of what will happen in the webinar in every step. Okay, I see the people raising their hands to ask a question. There is no need, guys. The whole purpose of this webinar is to let you ask questions. So you can just ask whatever you want to ask in the question section, and I will answer it accordingly. Okay, so to begin with, first we're going to go through common questions that we've gathered from other webinars, then dynamic questions, which means that it's questions that you guys will ask along the webinar, regardless the subject that I'm teaching. Thirdly, we're going to provide you with some links that can help you, giving you a shortcut to get the things, how to make a deposit, how to open a real account, educational things, and more. And lastly, the analysis. We're not going to have questions that will deal with analysis, which I find it a bit hard. It will be the case, but otherwise we can speak about analysis on a nutshell. And lastly, we're going to have a nice promotion that we're giving you at the end of the webinar, which is going to give you a nice benefit with your account manager. All right, I'm going to go to make sure that the webinar is recorded. It's a great time to say that the webinar will be uploaded to YouTube later on. So even if you missed a part, or you can stay until the end, so it's also fine. We're also going to state that any capital markets and trading information disclosed in this webinar is provided for informative purposes only. It should not be constructed or applied as an investment advice, recommendation, or a suggestion. So I'm going to go for a quick check. I'll be right back and then we will begin. Thank you very much. All right, it seems like everything is in place. So like I said, my name is Danny. This is a live Q&A webinar. We're going to begin with the comment questions that we've gathered. And the common questions are, let's see. What is the best asset to begin with? How much money should I start with? How can I withdraw my profits? Okay, how can I analyze fundamental analysis? Okay, how to use indicators? All right, all seems like very interesting questions. We're going to begin with the first one. What is the best asset to begin with? Okay, I guess that the question is referring to what is the best asset to begin with as a beginner. Okay, let me just add it here. Okay, now we're going to paste the question. Okay, just going to take the notepad here and paste the question. Excellent. All right, so guys, quick, before we carry on with the question, obviously, this is called the web trader. The web trader is part of several platforms that we are offering. We have MT4, MT5, Ava Social, Ava Options. I'm not going to explain about any of those. I'm just going to state that this web trader is something that we design especially for beginners. It's a very, very friendly interface. I'm just going to open up here a menu to show how it looks. Okay, you saw that as soon as I clicked on sell or buy, it just opened here the nice menu. Okay, those are the platforms that we have. What I'm going to demonstrate most of the things will be pretty much all of the things is going to be the web trader. How do you get to the web trader? You log to AvaTrade with your email and password. So log into avatrade.com. Okay, with your email and password. Okay, and then you're supposed to be here. If you can see this interface, I highly suggest to contact your senior account manager. Okay, and then he can apply the interface on your account. All right, so what is the best asset, guys, to begin with as a beginner? What do you think is the best? Gold, Nasdaq, Boeing, wheat, sugar. What is the best asset to begin with? Who can tell me? I'm actually going to add under that question another question. How to find the best asset to begin with? Okay, instead of this question, or maybe they will go along together. So right now I have $10,000 in my account. We're going to choose, let's choose something from perhaps here. Okay, and we're gonna go with Nasdaq. Okay, whoever, if you want to confirm that this is Nasdaq, you can just pick here, write down Nasdaq. You can see it's US Tech 100. Okay, and I'm thinking about trading Nasdaq. Now, I want to make $500 with Nasdaq. And that means that I'm going to take 50 units and expect $10. Actually, this is less likely. So let's say 500 with 5 shares over $100. Let's say from here till roughly here. Okay. Few things just to elaborate so it won't be too fast. First, we picked Nasdaq. Then we changed the time frame from weeks. W1 means weeks, D1 means days. And then we can see that I did it in my head, but just for the sake of the discussion, we're going to do it together to confirm that this is indeed $100 up. I believe that it's moved, but okay, let's play along. You see that it's difficult for me to find 11,477 if I click and drag. So how can I put it exactly on that price? I can click on the line itself twice, and I'm going to change here the coordinates. I'm going to put here 11, 4, sorry, 3, 7, 474. He already placed himself here for me. If I want, I can change it to dots, perhaps, if it's easier for me to analyze with. And for the sake of the discussion, we're going to use something called take profit, which is a price that I'm marking on the chart, and it's going to get it's going to trigger if it gets to this price. So I'm going to click here, take profit, and I'm going to put here 11,474. And with my ambition making 500, this is very, very close. All right. Now, if God forbid the asset keeps going down, Nasdaq is going to keep going down. Let's see how much. Let's say, just for the sake of the discussion, also $100 down, same as it. We are expecting it to go up, but we're going to paint it in red, and we're going to also change it to a dot, just to play with it. So 11,277. There is no need for me to put it in a calculator. Just take my word on it. And then if I click buy, so obviously if it goes to the green line, now it's green, I'm gonna make $500. Otherwise, I can lose $500 because of 5 shares multiply $100 in difference. If you subtract this number by that, you get 100. If you subtract that number by this, you get also 100 in difference. Okay, and I have $10,000 that I can play with. $10,000 on my balance. Now, do you think that Nasdaq is the right asset for me? Now, this position is gonna cost $56,000. Okay, but thanks to the leverage, we're gonna understand in a second what the leverage really does. Okay, thanks to the leverage, my actual impact on my account will be 2,840. Leverage let you buy or sell more units with the same balance. In other words, it's a multiplier. Right? All right. And then thanks to the leverage, what is the leverage here? We're going to find out in a very cool way, but otherwise we can just check the information under the, let me just show you. Okay, if we're going to go to here, click on the eye, then it's going to show us. Okay, so thanks to the leverage, that it's a multiplier that help us buy or sell more with the same balance. Now we're going to see that the leverage here is 1 to 20. We could also divide the value by the margin impact to know the leverage, which is 20. Let's just do this only once to see how it works. So if I divide the value, which is 56,900 by 2,845, I get 20, just as it was written in the other interface. Okay, so 1 to 20. Because my account is multiplied by 20, me dividing the value by 20 is gonna result me the same number. Okay, it's vice versa of what we just did. As you can see, that's the same as the outcome that we've got. Now, as a conclusion, this is not bad. That means that 2,800, that means that how many positions can I take? Anybody knows? How many positions if the cost is 2.8 and balance is 10,000? How many positions can I take, guys? Like this? 5. Okay, interesting. Not sure about that. If we multiply 5, let's see. All right, so Frank, you wrote 4, but I guess that, okay, let's see. 2.8 multiply 5. No, that's not the answer. You see, we don't even, okay, let's check Frank's answer. Frank, unfortunately, you're also not correct, okay? But if we test out 3 as an example, that could be more realistic. So we can take 3 positions similar to that. Now, do you think that this is the right asset for me to trade with $10,000? trying to make $500 with it. Okay, I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm not saying that it's a good asset, but let's just compare for the sake of the discussion. We're going to take another asset. We're going to do the same exercise. Let's take as an example crude oil. We're going to take crude oil. We're going to also aim to make 500. And we're just going to change the figures accordingly to what it says here. We can already see that the leverage is, let me ask you guys, what is the leverage on crude oil? Anybody knows? Can anybody tell me what is the, in the meantime, I'm going to put the figures down. Okay, this one I'm not going to give you because this is what I'm asking. What is the leverage, guys? I want to see more answers, not only two-person. What is the leverage in here? Like I said, if we divide the value by the margin impact, we get the leverage, right? So value divide by margin impact equals leverage. Also, value divided by leverage gives you the margin impact. Exactly. All right. So the right answer is 1 to 10. It's not a problem if we divide 7,900 by 792. So that's obviously 10. As you can see, actually, okay. And thanks to that, the margin impact is going to be 792. Now, to make 500 with crude oil, we're going to hypothetically aim for, we're looking at days, 79, let's say $5 down, same as we have done with NASDAQ. So $5 down will be roughly here. Okay, and we're going to have 100 barrels, which cost 7,900, but the actual cost, the actual margin impact is almost 800. Do we understand why I don't need 8,000, but I only need 800? Do we understand that? Does this make sense? Excellent. So this is the cost. This is the cost for me trading crude oil. This is the cost for me trading NASDAQ. Both can lead me to 500 revenue profit, right? 500 profit. So 500 profit and 500 profit, $5 with NASDAQ. We had $100 down and 500 5 shares. In here it's the opposite. In here we have 100 barrels. Okay, I'm gonna state them as unit, not to confuse anyone. With NASDAQ, we're gonna put here NASDAQ, right? We had 100 units. We had 5 units, multiply $100 difference. And with oil, that's the other way around, right? Crude oil, we have 100 units and $5 difference. Now, the cost is the cost here is eventually, yes, thanks to the leverage, whoever wrote this, let's see, Abena. Thank you, Abena. So 792, that's the cost for crude oil. 2,800, that's the cost with NASDAQ. What do you think? And I have 10,000 in balance. What do you think would be a more preferable asset for me? Is this versus the comparison that we have done? What do you think that is better, more affordable? Now, this is not a formula that will work 100% of the time. because Nasdaq can potentially perhaps move better than crude oil, right? So the cost is not everything, but this help you indicate a bit better how to manage with your margin, with your balance, with your exposure, right? Because how many positions can I take with oil? Let's see. How many anybody knows this, the same position that I have here, 100. How many positions can I take before I get into a crucial situation? Maybe Frank can help me. Frank, you given me a right answer with Nasdaq. 12. Nicola, 12. Let's see if you are right. Yeah, pretty much. So this is. Do you understand the logic behind why I'm teaching you this, guys? The question here was, what's the best asset to begin with? And I took it another level, and I'm giving you the legitimacy to make comparison in your balance, because this is also this is also something that I can do. It's not that I can't. It's not that I don't have the financial strength. I do, but if I can do it with less, so that's another story. Okay, I'm not gonna keep going with this question because I want to answer more questions. Do we understand the logic of this thing? Do we have any more questions regarding this part, this question? Anything to ask? Alfred, you're asking if you should trade different assets. The answer is I don't know if you should trade different assets, but you can trade different assets. You can. This is what we call diversification. Diversification is, instead of trading only Nasdaq or only oil, I can trade Nasdaq and oil, or only Nasdaq or only oil, right? So diversification means that I can diverse different assets. All right. Any more questions? Excellent. Understood. It's great. Let's carry on. In this case, I'm just going to put down here, what's the best asset to beginner? There is no best asset, and this is why. It's good to make comparison between several assets. All right. How much money should I start with? Guys, what do you think is an advisable amount for me as a beginner? Let's suppose that I don't know a single thing, not in trading, not in finance. I don't know. I just want to deposit something and to begin with. What is a good amount to start with? 100,000, 5,000, 10,000. What do you think is a good amount for me as a beginner? Okay, to see how it works. What do you choose? A 1,000. Nicola, you're voting 1,000. Alfred, you're saying also 1,000. Okay, who else thinks that 1,000 is a good amount to start with? Okay, Abena also 1,000. Maya, you are saying 50 if you can. What do you mean 50 if I can? 50,000 if I can. So, but I'm a beginner. Even if I can, does that mean that I should put 50 right away? I can buy more things. You are right, I can buy more things. But again, I am a beginner, so I want to first see that it's right. I want to test it out. But I guess that you are right in some way. If I can put in 50, so I can start with more than 1,000, but not necessarily. I guess what you're trying to say is everybody and its own ability. If I have 1,000, I can put 1,000. If I can 50, so 50. If I only can put 100, so 100. Each individual and its own. Okay, but you are right in some way, because the more I'll put, the more I can do, right? Like the comparison that we have done here. If I wouldn't have 10,000, so I couldn't take the. I don't necessarily need 10,000. I can work with 1,000 as an example. But what we've checked prior, as an example, the position that we saw with Nasdaq, so I couldn't do that. So you are right in some way, right? If I have 1,000 and I want to buy 5 shares, so I can't do it, right? So I gotta make a plan, and according to my plan, I can decide. So according to this question, I'm gonna put here that according to my plan, I can choose the amount, right? According to my plan, I can choose the amount. Those guys were gonna make it 10. I don't know if it helps. The following question is, how can I withdraw my profits? So to withdraw the profits, I'm just going to click here on, as you can see here, I'm going to click on the 3 lines, and then I'm going to click on withdraw. Okay. Just a second. Accidentally, I think I've done something wrong. I don't know if you can see my screen. Let me go back a step. No, that doesn't work for some reason. I don't know what I did. Maybe now it will work. There we go. There we go. I changed the account. Perhaps it jammed the software. Never mind. Let me start all over again. So I click here on the 3 lines. I click here on withdrawal. Finally, I can see now that it's working. If something doesn't work, guys, please tell me, because I'm not fully, my technology understanding has a limit. So I can put here the amount that I want. Let's say, actually here it's only 100. We're gonna carefully, I think I can change it this way. Okay, I'm gonna put next. All right. So I'm gonna put my name and everything, my card, and when I click withdraw, it's gonna send back to the, it's gonna send back to my card. Okay, that's basically the idea. This is as simple as it can get. I don't know what else I can show you about how to withdraw. There is the other options, but I guess you've understood the idea. I click withdrawal, I put my details, and then it's gonna send it to me. So I'm gonna put here showed on the website. Okay. All right. How can I analyze fundamental analysis? How can I analyze? I think the composer of this question meant how can I do fundamental analysis? But all right, never mind. All right, so we're gonna take this question, and why do we have a lot of 2's? Never mind. Okay, so how can I do fundamental analysis? Guys, what is fundamental analysis? Can somebody help me? Fundamental analysis. So technical analysis, I understand. We have candlesticks. We're gonna put here platinum for the sake of the example. And we are going to see as an example that platinum is now going down. This is potentially something called a resistance. Okay, sorry, this is actually the support. Okay, and this is the resistance. Oh, this is not the resistance. Maybe this is the resistance. And also here, if we'll have time, I will explain what's the meaning of all those things that I'm putting on the chart. Okay, so this is technical analysis. Technical analysis means this is technical analysis. Technical analysis means that I can sell now. Now I'm looking at the downtrend. The candle is red. If I'll open it on days, it will look a bit different. Then I can see the lines that I marked, but you understand that now platinum is heading down according to the point that it's at right now. If I switch back to months, I see that each candle here is I don't get any information because my crosshair is turned off. No crosshair. I have no crosshair. Now I have a crosshair, and that means that each of the candle is going to show me some information, some interesting information. Now, let's pretend that oil, platinum is heading down right now, 1024. The next line that I see that it can get to is roughly 800. Okay, this would be my floor. This would be my my safety net from platinum to go even farther. This is why it's supporting platinum. This way we identify edge points on the chart. This is actually, you know what, I'm gonna ask the audience because I want to see if people understood. Support and resistance are edge points on the chart. Those are peaks that the chart has gotten to, the platinum has gotten to. Obviously, each heel, if we explore this one, what we're going to see is we're going to see up and then down. Let's look at it together. As you can see, up and then down. It's a bit difficult to show it to you guys because there is nothing continuous here, but I'm going to do my best. Okay. All right. This should be fine. And also this one, we're going to put it in blue. Then there we go. Okay. Okay. So each candle is showing this kind of movement, like a V shape, because of the way that it looks on the outside, right? Generally up and down, also here up and then down. Here it's the other way around, so down and then up. Those tails are confirmation that the asset has did turned around. Okay, and now this is all of this is called technical analysis. Now, can somebody tell me what is really driving platinum up or down beside the statistics? What else that I can, as a beginner, what else can help me indicate, okay, where platinum is going to, is moving to? What kind of information? Now I think that platinum is going down. There is no guarantee. What else can tell me, Danny, platinum is really going down? What do you think? In the meantime, I'm going to paste here the question. I think I've already, I have it. So we have two kinds of analysis. Technical analysis. Okay. Fundamental analysis is what is outside the market, and technical analysis is what is inside the market. Meaning, first, I gotta make sure that the analysis that I'm doing is viable. That means that I'm looking at the chart, I'm thinking 1024 till, I don't know, $10 down, maybe even $20 down, $24 down. Let's say $20 down. Okay, I've done the analysis, technical analysis. Next support is, well, way down. This is weeks, so this is first week, second week, potentially third week. Excellent. Next thing that I'm going to check is what is driving platinum up or down and the vaccines. Okay, that could be economy decisions, right? Economy, interest, right? Or perhaps economy is part of, we can say the economy, strengthening of the currency as an example, if it correlates to the dollar, if it correlates to something else, if it's going to respond how well the economy is doing. As an example, inflation, right? Anybody knows what's happening right now economy-wise? There is inflation, right? And what do you think? Inflation, is it good for platinum or bad? What happens in inflation? Anybody knows? Sorry. I really misled you. I wanted to say recession, when people can't buy. So recession, anybody knows what is recession? Recession is when people can't buy. When people can't buy, when the interest rate is too high and people are struggling financially because of the waves that we had, COVID and some other things. In some regions, we had, God forbid, wars and whatnot. So recession right now is hitting very, very badly, and people can't afford things that they used to purchase, which is it's slowing the economy down, because the economy is a circle of taxes, employment, production, etc. When we have recession, that means that the economy is not doing so well because people are less purchasing. Okay. Now, this is an example. Why am I telling you this? What's the logic behind telling you this when we're looking at platinum? What platinum has to do with any of the things that I said? Guys, what do you think? Platinum correlates to the dollar or not? Do you think that if dollar is going up or down, does it has any kind of impact on platinum? If I see right now that there is a deadly recession, the interest rate is increased much more than the red line, and now everybody's struggling. Does this has any impact on platinum, whether if it will go up or down? Yes, excellent. Why do you think so? Why do you think that platinum has any connection with the dollar? All right, let's look at silver. That's another metal. Perhaps it has some kind of connection. Also down. Let's look at palladium. That's another metal, also down. Okay, let's try gold. Gold, not really down, but all right. Okay, so we understand that people invest into things that they can think that there are safe havens, like metals, gold and platinum and those things, okay? And when they do, it has, and when the dollar is moving, it reflects on those things. So, for instance, if the dollar is doing well and there is no recession and the economy is recovering, so we can see pictures like, just a second. We can see pictures very much like this, right? When the economy is not doing well and there is deep uncertainty in the world and nobody knows where the economy is heading to, so we see things like this. Okay, right now I can tell you that the economies are struggling to recover themselves from the wave of what we had with COVID, because as you know, US printed a considerable amount of money in the past, I believe, maybe a couple of years, or maybe now it's a bit more. I don't know exactly when they started, but I think somewhere there. Okay, so technical analysis is basically when we understand what correlates with the asset that, how did we get to gold? That we understand that some of the things that we analyze has an impact on our asset. For instance, I took platinum just as an example, but I could take Boeing. Now people can fly. As far as I'm concerned, there is no more vaccine restrictions. I don't remember exactly how it's called, but if you guys remember, there was an obligation to be vaccinated. I don't remember the exact definitions, but never mind, never mind. Right now, the restrictions are lifted in concern of having a vaccine and all the things that we had with the corona, this terrible time. And as you can see, well, this is an aircraft company. Boeing manufactures aircrafts, and this is the response when the world recovers. So Boeing is gonna show some response to that. Okay, this is an example. Same apply with Netflix. I think Netflix. I don't know if I showed it to you last week, but it's worth looking at because it recovered quite. As you can see, those are months, right? It's months. Look, it's been there in the middle of the year, June, July, and in June, July you can see, right? You can see even May, right? So June, this is where it's been, and right now it's recovering quite well. So why is that? Because of the new things that they've added and more corporations. I see people raising their hands. Like I said, there is really no need to raise your hand. Just paste the question that you want, and then all right. So Paul, you're asking me to speak about leverage. Paul, I have to say that. Let's see if I talked about leverage. If you can elaborate, that would be good. I don't know what you want me to say about leverage. I can explain about leverage. Let's first finish this one. So how do I do fundamental analysis? Find connection between the asset you're analyzing to what is driving it up or down. Okay. How to use indicators. So this is also as an example. We're going to take the question from here and we're going to paste it here. How to use indicators. So as an example, we're going to analyze Netflix. We said that Netflix recovered. We don't know how much. Now we're looking at months. And I want to see in each month how much Netflix is. Why it's showing me Boeing? Just a second. I'll fix it. Netflix. There we go. I have to click. There we go. Okay, so I want to know how much. Actually, I don't want to see months. I want to see weeks, and I want to know how much Netflix has moved in every week on average. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here on studies, and then which one I would like to show you guys. Let's try Bollinger Bands. But this is going to give us the average price. What we need is the average range. So the average range is here. Average range, average ATR, average true range. We're going to change the line to, I don't know, light green, just as an example, right? And we see weeks. Each candle here is a week. How can I confirm? I'm just going to point on it. So you can see this week, last week, 2 weeks, a month ago, right? This is already December. Okay, as you can see, this is already November, the green candle. And now it's, as you can see, 27.9, almost 28 is where is the movement that every week. Now, if I start to analyze the candles, as you can see here, I have figures. If I start to increase and decrease, Abena, you want me to explain what options are? to explain. Okay, I will explain on a nutshell, but I'm not gonna explain too thoroughly because we have a tutorial for that, and we have a separated webinar just for that. But I'm gonna give you the idea on a nutshell. Okay, so we said that each candle that I'm pointing at is going to give me several elements. Each of those elements is going to stand for the price that it's been. You can see here last week it opened with a nice open 315. It gotten all the way here till its peak. This is now the new resistance beside that level, which is higher. Beside what keeps on. There we go. I folded it, right? If it bothers me, so I click here on the arrow and it folds it down. It folds it to the side. Okay, as you can see, 315, and it started all the way until 335. Excellent. Now, if I accumulate all of the differences between the open and the close, the high and the lows, so I will have this one, 27, which is the most recent true average in between the levels. Ola, you're asking, is it okay to use the Ava Options platform for FX trading? Okay, options. If you use Ava Options, you're gonna trade options. If you use it for Forex or commodities, this is your choice, if it makes sense. But it's, of course, I guess what you're asking is if you can trade Forex in Ava Options. The answer is yes. Let me paste your question here. I'm gonna change, if you don't mind, is FX trading. Is it possible to trade? Trade FX trading on options? The answer is yes. Now, an idea of how options works. Okay, trading options, how is it working? We're gonna paste. Just a second, I want to finish this one. Just a second. Excuse me. Okay, so how to use indicators? We've seen it on the chart. I'm just gonna state here, just for the sake of the discussion, that what you need to do is you need to click studies, then choose the indicator, and then click apply. This is the practical side of the explanation. And the other explanation, which I've showed how to really use it and apply it on the strategy. But this is how you can apply it on the chart, which is, I guess, two different things. All right. Who asked? Bena, you asked me to speak about options. So, okay, so I'm gonna give as an example on a nutshell. Netflix now, the price is 325, right? And I am buying. Okay, let's suppose that I'm buying. Right now the price, Netflix, now price, 325. Okay, the date today is the 19th of Jan. Okay, and I'm buying, potentially, I buy. Now, I have the option to use this price, to buy in this price. I leave myself the ability to have this price as an option, whether if I want to sell or buy in the future. In the future, in a week or a month, whenever I'm trading on, whatever the life of my option, how far the option is. Okay, so let's say in a month, now price is, let's say 250 is an example, right? And I still have this price. And this, let's say that this is a month after. Let's say that this is on February, right? Okay, so I have the price. I have still 325 as long as I have the equity to use it. So I still have the price that I had the option for. Okay, I can use this price even though the price has dropped to 250. Okay, does this make any sense? It's like a voucher that I have for a specific item that I have acquired on Black Friday for a certain price of the product that I want. And the shop is giving me the voucher for the price. Now I'm gonna go to the shop after I don't know how long as the voucher is valid, and I'm gonna use the same price, whether if I want to use it or not. I keep myself the right to use this price as long as it's under my option and it's running still. As soon as I close my option, the price that I had disappear. And then I can open another one. Okay, does this make any sense? I bet you ask me to explain. I hope that it makes sense. So why would I do it? Well, that's a good question. Why would I do it? Why do you think that I would use a voucher to buy a product that I want for a better price, right? If I have a voucher for 250 and now the price is 325, I'm gonna go to the shop with my voucher and I'm gonna buy it for more. I'm gonna buy it for less. This way I spend less money. Okay. All right. So this is the logic behind how to use it. We have roughly 5 minutes. I'll take advantage of the 5 minutes we have to share with you some links. Okay, this is for the app. Whoever is looking a way to get the app, so I'm gonna paste here in the chat section. So I'm gonna put here the link. Another link is to log in and make a deposit for beginners. If you think that you're ready and you want to make a deposit, so you just click here on the link and you're supposed to get to the right place. Here is for FAQ and for help center with further questions regarding anything that you may need, information regarding the website or the services or the documents, anything. Just a second. And real account, obviously, if you had enough with the demo and now you're ready for the business, and the academy for even more educational content. Again, you just click on the link and you're supposed to get to the right place. And lastly, the one-on-one premium market review. Guys, we have roughly 5 minutes. 5 minutes. We spoke about analysis. I'm not gonna mention any of that now. Okay, this is the premium market review, but like I said, we have still 5 minutes, so I'm gonna give you guys 5 minutes to ask any question that you want. Ola, you're asking, I traded Forex on an option platform, but the limit order did not execute at the price I set. It made me run into a huge loss. If you have enough time, can you walk us through how to use the new Ava Options platform properly? Or can I be assigned someone to guide me to use it, please? Of course, that's the whole purpose of having a senior account manager. Listen, once your account is funded with capital, okay, as soon as your account has been funded, you can ask for an account manager to be assigned, right? So the first step is to log in to AvaTrade with your email and password. Secondly is go to the live chat or send an email to cs@avatrade.com that you are looking for a senior account manager assignment. And then when your account manager is assigned, he can guide you through, of course. They're doing it here all day. They're also traders on themselves, so they can, of course, give you additional inputs. I hope it makes sense. Yeah, this is more or less how it works. If there are more questions, like I said, they're roughly 4 minutes, so feel free. In the meantime, I'm going to take a sip of the tea. Just a second. Thank you. All right. Are there more questions? Vladimir, you're asking what am I trading? You're asking what I'm trading personally, or you're asking what I recommend to trade? Okay, what am I trading personally? Okay, I'm not sure that I'm supposed to specify on the assets that I'm trading here in this forum, but I can tell you that I find that there are some stocks very fascinating. Commodities, very interesting these days, as we saw there's some commodities that got my attention, and some interesting stocks. Again, I'm not going to specify, but look, you can see here, if you click on the 3 lines and you see there is here Trading Central, you can find very interesting things. Forex features ideas. Okay. Now we're going to give it a second. You see, you have a lot of interesting ideas. You have your Forex, right? You have your the pairs, and also you have analysis views. If I click here on analysis views, it's going to specify even in a nicer way the pivot points and the support and resistance. You can see here the levels. Okay, see, this is the levels. Relative strength index, the RSI. You can see here. Some more opinions. I can click here, USD ZAR, Euro USD, a lot of interesting things. Okay, even I can even scroll even further. I have your crypto, stocks, indices, commodities. So I'm sorry that I can't tell you what I'm trading personally, but I hope that it helped what I showed you now. And here you have it, the economic calendar, which you can find events, as I've explained about. Just a second, as I've explained about finding the news and everything, the reports, the announcements, everything is here. You can even filter it by the things that are more relevant for you. So you can see here, perhaps only US, or only perhaps if I'm trading something else, so I can perhaps only Europe, or if I want to see all of the countries and then to filter out the things that I don't need. Never mind, you can play with it as much as you want. Okay. Is it possible to trade profitably without using indicators? Yes, of course. Indicators are always as an addition, Ola. It's not obligatory to use indicators. It's not. I really, like I said, ask for an assignment with the senior account manager. They can assist you with a plan, and they can explain to you much more thoroughly than the half a minute that I have left. But I'm going to use my half a minute left to thank you all for coming to our live Q&A. It's been a pleasure giving you this webinar, even though some of the questions we couldn't answer fully because we don't have the tools here to do that. But otherwise, I wish you all best of luck. Beginners, there is no better way to learn, just to make a deposit and start moving. Otherwise, without practice, it's impossible to improve. And that's it. I wish you all best of luck. Make a lot of money and have a good week.